Hi everybody! Get ready for the Thanksgiving holiday with these super fun step-by-step tutorials created just for you. Be sure to check out the links to all of these awesome videos in the description box below. I'll be teaching you how to make these super adorable pumpkin pie cupcake toppers. So cute! Hi everybody, this is Laura
and Arnie
with Krazy Cool Cakes, and we're coming to you today with a super adorable Thanksgiving themed cupcake topper tutorial. We'll be teaching you how to make these super cute little slices of pumpkin pie with whipped cream swirls. And they smell good too. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are starting by kneading a good amount of gum paste, I would say about a ½ ounce. And the way we made this color, this is actual filling for the pumpkin pie. And we created this using orange and brown, so it turns into a really cool pumpkin color. And pumpkin pie has little tiny spice specks in it, so we're gonna actually use real pumpkin spice. And so this will give our little topper a really nice pumpkin smell, and it'll make it look authentic like the actual pumpkin pie. So just sprinkle some pumpkin spice into your gum paste and knead it. And we want to put enough to where when we are looking at the gum paste, we can actually see the specks. So you can either put some into the gum paste or just put some on your table, and then just, you know, pick it up little by little and mix in. It smells so good. Can you smell it?
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie.
I want some whipped cream on mine.
I'm pretty happy with the amount of spice I can see in my gum paste if my husband wants to zoom in. So as long as you can see on the surface little specks spread out, I think we're good to go. So now that we have our pumpkin spice kneaded into our gum paste, now all we're gonna do is just roll it into a ball. Get it nice and warm in your hands so that you can get all the cracks and wrinkles out. And I'm pressing very hard because I wanna make sure that even though there's no cracks or wrinkles on the outside, I also want to make sure I don't have any cracks on the inside, because once we slice into this, we don't want to see a huge crack on the inside of our pumpkin pie. So I'm kneading this very, very well, applying a lot of pressure, getting it nice and warm. Then I'm going to roll it into a ball. I can still smell the pumpkin spice. It smells so good.
Ah, the smell of the holidays.
Okay, so there we have a nice ball, and all I'm gonna do is just squash it with my hand.
You mean squish it?
Squash. Okay. And as we all know, pumpkin pie really isn't that thick. So I have about this thickness. I would say maybe a little more than 1/4 inch. Just so you have an idea, I'm looking at a circle that's about 2½ inches wide. Then what I'm gonna do is lift it on its side, and I'm gonna use the table to help me get a nice flat side. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfectly straight, but just more or less, that way it's not too rounded. So I'm just using my fingers and pressing it down towards the table to give me a nice flat side. Now we are going to take our other colored gum paste, which will be the crust, set this off to the side. And this gum paste was made using ivory and a tiny bit of Wilton's Buttercup. So all we're gonna do is just knead this, get it nice and warm. And this is about the same exact amount of gum paste that we use to make the actual inside of the pie. So again, about a ½ ounce. And once again, just roll it into a ball. Get all the cracks and wrinkles out. If you have a little pumpkin spice in it, it's okay. It'll taste even better. Okay, roll it into a ball. Put it on your tabletop and then use your rolling pin. And we are going to roll this out to where it's just a little bit wider than the inside of the pumpkin pie. And this crust is going to wrap around the bottom and the sides. It's not going to come up over the top. So let's test it out. Try and get it nice and round. And just put the inside of your pumpkin on the pumpkin pie and just kind of lift up the side just to see if it does go up all the way to the top. And it does. That was actually the perfect. That rarely happens, guys, okay, where you get it the first time. So it's a miracle. It's a Thanksgiving Day miracle. Okay. Okay, now you're going to take your edible glue and we are going to put edible glue all around the bottom of the pie. Not a lot, just enough to make it tacky. And the sides. Make sure you also get the corner here because you want the gum paste to stick to the pie. You don't want to have any gaps. Make sure all the... Okay, get that out of the way. Put your pumpkin pie right in the center of the crust. And then of course wipe your hands. I have orange all over my fingers, so I'm going to wipe my hands. Then just gently pick up your crust. Lift it all the way around. Move it if you have to. Make sure it sticks to the side. Well, I guess it wasn't a Thanksgiving Day miracle after all. So if you do happen to have some overlapping this way, just take your awesome blade and just trim what you have to. Get it nice, and it doesn't have to be perfectly, you know, the same exact height, but more or less. Cut a little bit more off right here. And make sure as you're gently pressing up against the pie that you're not ruining the shape of the inside of the pie. So if you want to hold the inside like this, turn it over to get the top flush with the table. And then again, you can turn it on its side and press it up against the table. And this is how I'm making sure that all of the gum paste is touching and it's totally glued. Okay. It looks like a real pie already. Okay, now let's set this off to the side. Now you're just going to take a gumball size of the same colored gum paste that you used for the crust, and we're going to roll out a worm that's going to wrap around the top part of the pie. So as you are rolling it out, just test the size to see if it does wrap around the top of the pie. Still got a ways to go. Okay, so once you have the right size worm, just gently flatten it a little bit, not too much, just enough to widen it out. You want it to go over a little bit over the pie and a little bit over the edge of the crust. So just tap it down, and then you're going to take your edible glue and add glue to the top of the pie all the way around. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take my blade, and if you are interested in this blade and any of the supplies that you see me using, be sure to check out the description box underneath the video. I'll have all the links there for you. And then just go ahead and start carefully adding it to the top of your pie. And what you don't need, carefully cut off. Add a little bit of glue where the two meet. Okay. And then press it down. Now we're going to give it that cute little crust design by taking our smallest ball tool in our Sculpey ball tool set and just use this portion of the ball tool and just begin to press down on the crust all the way around. Looks cute, huh?
Very cute. Looks ready to me. Let's tear into it.
A little bit too much glue right here, squirting out. Okay. Okay, now before we actually slice it up, let's add some color to it so it looks baked. Alright guys, so now we're gonna add some really nice toasty and give our pumpkin pie a baked look. And a lot of you have already seen the non-toxic pastels that I love to use. These are Mungil pastels, and it's the same as using non-toxic petal dusts. And the reason I like to use these is because the colors are a lot more vibrant. There's a lot more variety. But if you want to use petal dusts, which are the exact same thing, non-toxic, it's completely up to you. So all I'm going to do is just take my blade, and I've chosen some toasty colors. So I'm going to use like a chocolate brown. You just scrape some color off. And I love these because they come off really, really powdery, very fine powder. A nice little orangey brown, not a lot. And then a little orange color here, like a burnt orange. Okay, let me set those off to the side. And just bring in our pumpkin pie, and I like to mix some of the brown with some of the burnt orange. And then you can just test it out here to see how it's gonna look, the shade. Maybe a little bit of... Okay, and then just simply tap some off, that way you don't have any big pieces of powder, and then just go over the crust. It's a lot of fun to do. I like to do this before I cut up the pumpkin pie to give it a uniform look, and you can cut it up first if you want and then color, but to me that's, I think, more work. It's easier to do it this way. A little bit more toasty brown. It's starting to look baked already.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna take some more color and start working on the edges. You want to avoid having the crust in big areas looking like the original color of the gum paste, because then it'll look not baked. Then I'm going to pick up, make sure your hands aren't wet, my pumpkin pie, and start working on the sides so it looks all toasty. So that looks pretty good. What do you think, baby?
It looks great.
How much would you pay me for one of these pies? Well,
a lot of money.
Okay. All right. So now this is nice and baked
and
looking, toasty. So now I'm gonna do away with my paper here and put away my pastels. Leave your color off to the side in case you want to dust it a little bit on the inside. Okay, so now we have our beautiful pumpkin pie fresh out of the oven. Now, if you wanted to use this as a larger cake topper, you could. And it would look really cute if you just cut out one slice out of the pie. But since I'm going to be using these as individual pieces of pie as cupcake toppers for some really delicious pumpkin spice cupcakes that we're making. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it up into as many pieces of pie as I actually can, and then we'll add whipped cream to the top of each. So what I want to do is, since I have a seam here, and I know it's not too noticeable, but we have a seam there from where we joined the crust, so I want to start my first cut there. That way it's not too noticeable. So try and cut it right in half. Does that look like it's half to you, baby?
Yeah, looks close enough.
Okay. Let me see. Right there?
A little bit more top.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be my first cut. Make sure your blade is nice and clean. And flip it. There. Hold your blade nice and straight. And flip it again. So if you wanted big pieces of pie, you could just leave it like that, but I'm gonna try and get more slices out of it. And this is so much fun.
It looks like fun.
Little pie, pumpkin pie.
Would you like a piece of pie?
Who's that?
That's Adam Sandler.
There we go. So here are our little pieces of pumpkin pie. How cute! I'm in love with my pumpkin pie. How adorable are these? Look at how cute these are, guys. Adorable. And you can see the little spice on the inside of the pie. Too cute. Okay, so as you can see, the crust is a different shade, so let's go ahead and shade them on the inside, and I will actually just do one, of course, and that way we can move on with the rest of our tutorial. Alright, so I'm only going to add a little bit of color to the bottom here, just so that it looks baked. Just a lot. You don't want it as dark as the outside. Just a tiny bit. And there it is. Now let's add a little whipped cream swirl to the top of our pie. Okay, so now we're gonna make a really cute whipped cream swirl for one of the pieces of pie. So just take a, I would say, what size would you say this is?
A little bit bigger than a pea?
Yeah.
Marble size?
Well, like a small marble size gum paste. White, of course, it's whipped cream. Roll it into a ball. Put on your tabletop, and if you saw my hot chocolate cupcake chopper tutorial, you already know how to make these swirls. If not, you are in for a treat. So you just roll it.
A sweet treat.
You just roll it into a long teardrop. Just like that. And then you hold the fatter end in your hand and just give it a little twirl. And then you can leave the little pointy end up if you want. Little whipped cream. And then flatten the bottom. Then we're gonna add a little bit of glue to the top of our pie. Now, if this was my brother's piece of pumpkin pie, you would not be able to see the pie at all. It would be literally drenched in whipped cream. We always have to buy like 5 tubs when we know he's coming.
Just 2.
Yeah. And then just put your little whipped cream right on top. How cute is that? Is that not the cutest piece of pumpkin pie on the entire planet?
I can't wait.
How cute is that, guys? So here is our completed pumpkin pie, and as you can see, I added whipped cream swirls to all the tops of the pies. And these are super, super cute. These will look so adorable on top of your Thanksgiving themed cupcakes. And I just want to show you that you can also do a little mini version of the little pumpkin pie. If you want to do a little cute topper of little pieces of pie, you can. These are super cute, and you can just do individual pieces like this, or if you wanted to, you could even make a cute little cupcake topper, make a little plate and a napkin and a little whipped cream swirl. So how cute is that? So a million possibilities. Once you learn how to do this, you can do it pretty much any size you'd like. So I hope you guys like this tutorial, and thank you so much for being a subscriber. We love you guys, and happy Thanksgiving. We thank God for you, and thank you for also following us on Facebook and Instagram. Take care, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
God bless y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Don't forget to check out all these other awesome Thanksgiving tutorials. You can click on the picture or check out the links below the video.